Alright, welcome back. What we are going to be working on today is a boxer brief. I just started making them for my son because he refuses to wear normal underwear. Now this set does not actually use any elastic. So, first cut your them out. First piece, this is a side leg piece. What we're going to do is here's the back. And we need the back butt piece. Right sides together. Start at the top. Curve your leg piece around the butt piece and sew. You can, this specific pattern is a 3/8 inch seam allowance. You can pin, or you can just line up as you go, like I do. I forgot to mention, with knits, I suggest going up a stitch length. So from 2.5 to a 3. It helps your fabric not stretch too much. Now I'm going to serge the seam. So we got this nice seam going on. We're going to fold right sides. I'm going to want to put the seam towards the butt piece, this way, and top stitch. Just get as close to the seam as you can, and make sure that you try and keep it even so it looks more professional. If it isn't even, oh well. You'll still be able to use it if it isn't even. See? Now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to work on the front panel. Now, there's two different options for this one. You can either do one with a fly or one without a fly. Now my son likes the fly on his, so that's what we're going to do. Got two pieces, both with the curve. We got, oops, wrong one. Two pieces. These ones are 2.5 inches by 4 inches. Gonna want to line them up, just like the other one. Curve, stretch the straight piece around the curve, and sew at that 3/8. This is 4.5. Now the colored fabric, the coordinating fabric is a little long, but I cut it long just in case. And then do it to the other one. Now if you don't, you have to make sure that the curves are on opposite sides for this to work. So luckily I have a printed one, printed fabric, so I don't have to really focus too hard on it. Now I'm going to serge over these seams. If you don't have a serger, it doesn't worry. Knits do not unravel. So you can, if you want a more finished look, you can zigzag over the edges as well. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to fold this up to the seam. Make sure that seam folds back down and fold it over. Now this is where I start pinning. How I do it is I put the pin down on the right side through the fabric. Then I line up this edge so it meets. I want it to be as even as possible. Okay. And with right side up, stitch as close to the seam as you can. It'll look just like top stitching. And then flip to the back, make sure that you got all of it in the back, which I did. Then I can cut off this extra that I have, because it's not needed anymore. Now finish up the other side. If I can remember where I put it. Oh my. Yes, half of my sewing time, it does consist of me trying to find where they went. There we go. And again, fold it up. Make sure the seam then gets folded over top. And fold one more. Got all of them again. Cut off the extra. Now what you're going to want to do is to make sure that these stay nice. So when you're sewing them to the front, you need to layer them and just sew the points where they attach together. That way when you attach them to the leg panels, you don't have to worry about them coming, not matching up. Because that's already taken care of by this step. Now, we have a working fly. We want to get that piece you had worked on earlier, the side leg and the butt piece. Now, right sides together, you're going to want to attach the front panel to the side panel. Same as before, starting with the top piece. And either matching as you go, or you can pin. Now I'm going to go over that seam with my serger. Alright. Next we're going to top stitch this part. So you want to make the seam go towards the side panel this time and top stitch, because you don't want to sew close to this piece. So now remember, I do have all my stitching at a stitch length of 3. Alright, see? Now we got that side done. What we're going to do now is get our other side piece and start on this side. Right sides together and go. Now I'm going to go over the seam with the serger. Now you you can just do this all with the serger for the main seams, but I prefer to do the seam first. Now fold it over to the side panel and top stitch. You got the front panel and the fly still works. Right sides together one more time. We're going to do this side panel to this butt, starting at the top. Serge that edge. All right. So now we have underwear. I'm going to fold it like this. I'm going to work on the bottom. We want to line these up. Alright, now I'm going to serge that edge. Alright, there we go. There's our inner leg seam. You can turn it right side out now. Now it's starting to actually look like underwear. Alright, now we're going to work on the waist. Now you have, let's see, I got so many pairs of underwear cut out. Alright, we got the legs and the waist. What we're going to do is we're going to sew down the edges of each to make circles. I do them all at once. Just goes faster to do it like a factory line type thing. do it on my serger. Now we're just going to get them apart. I'm going to do my waistband first. So we have the waistband. I'm going to fold it in half. And make sure the seams match. I'm just going to pin it so then the seams stay still. Then we're also going to want to mark with a pin the other half side, as well as the quarter sides. So I'm going to match these pins. So you're going to end up with 4 pins in total on this. Four pins. Now with this one, you're going to want to find the middle of the front panel. So match up those seams. Want to find the middle of the back panel. And then from there, you're going to find the side panels by matching these two up. And find the sides. Now these are just markers because, as you will tell when you try and put the waistband on, it will be smaller than this. Because there's no elastic, this needs to be smaller so it stretches and holds onto the body. You're going to want to do open side up and put it around so it's right sides together. Now, with the seam, match it with the pin in the back. And pin in place. Match the side pin with one side pin. And pin in place. So on and so forth, front pin with front pin, other side pin with side pin. Alright, as you can tell, so what we're going to do while we're sewing, we're going to stretch a little bit. That way when it's when we don't have this ruffle, it won't ruffle up and crimp. And then it'll be even amount of stretching on each side. I'm going to take off this piece, make it easier for me. I like to start in the back personally, but you can start wherever you want. And with this one still, we are still doing a 3/8" seam. I go from one pin to one pin, so I stretch as I go. Once I get to the next pin, I roll over, grab the next pin, and stretch. You're going to want to counter stretch in the back here as well, but make sure to not pull your fabric through. You just don't want to pull too much on this side, and then the feed dog can't pull it through. So you got to counter stretch. Alright, pins out. Now I'm going to serge the edge. Alright, now what we're going to do, get that thread out here. Flip it up, seam face down towards the body of the underwear, and top stitch. Now in these heavy spots where there's a lot of seams, it's going to be a little hard to sew over. Oops. I forgot to top stitch that one. Oh well. It'll still be able to be worn. I'll probably just top stitch that next. And since I noticed I didn't top stitch this seam, I'm going to do that now. Sometimes I get excited and then I forget my steps. Alrighty, so now what we're going to do, we're going to do the exact same thing as we did with the waistband for the legs. Got two small ones, do each quarter, sew on, and you're good to go. I will see you when I'm done. Alright, I got them on and serged. Now you want to turn them right side up and top stitch the seam into the body. that one more. Sorry, I just noticed I had a movie playing. Alright, that was your last seam. Now you have some ready to wear homemade boxer briefs. Alright, we'll get some better pictures for you.